Over the last several weeks, I have talked to you about different types of loans that you can get, how a buyer will acquire a house. We had covered conventional loans, FHA loans, VA loans, USDA loans, all these different kinds of loans. And what we're trying to do is make it easier for the home buyer. Hi, I'm Chuck Wilson, a realtor with Century 21 Beal, and with me is Cary Tennis from
Pilgrim.
from Pilgrim Mortgage Company. And I am an expert in real estate, and Cary Tennis is an expert in lending. And I like working with Cary. We work together for several clients, and she is going to talk about the things that would make it easier for first-time home buyers to get a loan.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love first-time home buyers, by the way. And you know what I find, Chuck, is that when first-time home buyers come in, a lot of times they're super nervous. Because they've never done it before. Makes sense, right?
Right.
And so what I wanted to share today is just different things that I would talk to a first-time home buyer about. So if you're in this position, there are really just five things that we're going to talk about from the get-go that are going to actually drive us in the right direction for determining your right purchase price range. And the first thing we do want to find out is if you are a first-time home buyer,
Right.
because that really changes the conversation all the way around. So I'm going to find that out very first. And then one of the very next things that we're going to talk about is the maximum monthly payment. So I'm going to say to you, hey, what is your absolute top dollar that you would pay each month? Mm-hmm. Absolute top dollar. I would not go a penny over this, because that's really going to help us decide,
Right.
again, your price range. And then the other component of that that's going to help us decide is going to be, what is your maximum cash that you would be able to bring to the deal? Top dollar, that's all the money I would have. What is that number? Sometimes people will say to me something like, 5%. And which I'm like, okay, great, 5%. What does that number mean to you? You know, what is 5% to you? And that's when sometimes we determine that people don't realize that they have closing costs too. They think that they can bring 5% to the deal, which you can. I mean, a first-time home buyer actually can bring as low as 3% to the deal. But there's closing costs on top of that. And so somehow there has to be an arrangement made for those closing costs. So that's the other important thing to know. I do need to know employment details, not necessarily, who you're working with and all of that just yet. But what I really need to find out is if you receive W-2 pay or if you're self-employed. Because again, that's going to just color the whole process differently. So that is important, how long have you worked there, that sort of thing. And then finally, the fifth one is estimated credit. What is your credit profile? And most people know that, say, their credit score on Credit Karma or Experian is, say, around 720 or something like that. Most people kind of know that. Again, that is going to help us. But once we have like a 10 or 15 minute conversation, most people, they lose that kind of fear thing, because we start talking about real numbers and they can start visualizing, oh, hey, this is possible, and we can get this figured out. So again, my favorite thing, talking to those first-time home buyers and getting them comfortable with that process.
Right. This is the biggest purchase that you will make in your life, this first-time home, and it can be scary.
It can.
But between me as an expert real estate agent and Cary Tennis as an expert lender, we can make this a much easier, much simpler process, and we will guide you, just with you the entire time, guide you through this process.
Absolutely. Let us take the stress, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're paid for. Take the stress away from you and make it an experience that you want to go through again.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Let's go get it, guys.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
That was it.